Reactive training systems.
So when you were training more in a 6-day-a-week fashion, that was, earlier in your career then, was that,
Yeah.
I guess when I think of, the classically, I don't know if classically is even the right word, but from my perspective, it seems classical and of the Norwegian style is more of the Dietmar Wolf high frequency type of approach. I don't know if that's still as commonplace as it was back when he was the Norwegian head coach, or
No, not that much now. Probably been persuaded by the Americans to do something else now. And I don't think that's the best way to get strong raw either. So, but at that time, that was the Bible, right? Like that was, and I think for me, the only thing I was thinking about was like capacity all the time. I just remember when I was going to the Norwegian School of Sports Science, on the first year, we had like every day we had so much activity, like start with 2 hours swimming. And the swimming was like really, if you do something wrong, you get yelled at. And swimming, and then you have like handball and then football and then just track and field and maybe 3 other things that day, right? And then you're going to have a 4 hour session, like powerlifting. And then like I was doing that like every single day, and the capacity was really good. I was so strong at that time, and if I would go back now, I wouldn't last a day, right?
Mel, this has to speak to you.
And it was also like
level,
if
I'm
I
sure.
was.
Although I have done that, the
And
volume,
if
and it feels invincible.
Yeah.
Like you are so invincible when you have capacity and swimming, and something about the cardio building. You think it would hurt the strength more than it did, but once you are very good at that volume work, it feels so complementary to the strength that the strength doesn't seem to hit the same way. And so I used to do that few hours in the morning, few hours in the evening, and it was so fun. It was, for me, I really liked it.
Yeah, but I really liked it as well.
No.
But I think it wouldn't go now with the intensity we're going now. So with the intensity we were doing at that time, if I was sick for 1 week and on Sunday I'm like, I need to do my sessions, I went up to training, did all my sessions in one session. I could never do that now, right? It's impossible. But when you have like, you start with the slow eccentric squat and then you have a normal squat, box squat, you did everything, right? Because the volume was high, but there's intensity was just so really low, right? But
That's interesting.
I used to take the 30-minute bike ride to the weightlifting gym, do the weightlifting stuff, do a cardio circuit, go to work, go to the gym at the evening for another like powerlifting session, and then a cardio circuit. And things just flew.
Yeah.
At the end of
Super interesting, right?
not
Super interesting. Like, Mel, in your case, like I feel like that experience has kind of had a lasting impact on your training as well. That like we see effects that I attribute to that background on squat and to a lesser extent on deadlift, but we don't see it as much in the bench, for example.
Yeah, there's not bench and weightlifting. But I've asked a few people around, like, when I consider the stuff you build in conditioning and cardio to be like the infrastructure that supports everything else. I asked Evan Picon actually, like, how long does that infrastructure last? Because if you don't strength train for a while, there is an eventual decay. And he said it lasts for a long time. And when you see lifters with a background in football or some sort of team sport that requires sprinting and conditioning, the benefits last a long time.
Yeah.
Speaking to the invincible portion as well, I remember when I was in the Air Force, we would get ready for our PT tests, and I would always dread having to do that to get ready for this run. for us, it's a 1.5 mile run. So it's like 2,200 meters or something like that. And
Yeah.
I would dread it. I would think that, this is going to affect my training negatively, but honestly, it never did, and I would look back through the, in part because like you try to do it in a way that makes sense, and that helps a lot, but, yeah, like when I look back on it, it's like, yeah, there would be like some short-term impacts, like immediately after going for a run, yeah, maybe things are a little bit off, but it would go away. And just in general, I seemed to recover better, which it's pretty easy to put 2 and 2 together at that point. I don't know. That's interesting to kind of relate that back to capacity. Not that I'm going out and running anymore, but it's interesting to think back on those times.
Got me there.
Both of you have kids. There's a minimal amount of running in your lives, I'm sure.
I did pick up a child and swing him all around the playground today, and pick him up and threw him up in the air. So it's like doing like kettlebell thrusters or something with a child. Whee!
Was it the 10-year-old?
No. Less intensity.
Is he going to sign up for a marathon?
Hey, let me tell you something that I know about you. Your lifting is important to you. It's probably one of your biggest priorities. And for people like us, nothing compares to the feeling that you get when you set a new PR. That feeling of being the best that you've ever been, of doing something that you've never done before. This is what we're all after, and it's also what RTS specializes in. Getting you the absolute best program possible so that you can hit new PRs and reach your goals. We call it radically individualized training, and we're really good at it. Whether we need to account for busy schedules or equipment limitations, or precisely turn the dials and get the details of the program just right, we have the tools and the experience to guide your lifting to the next level. To us, coaching is all about leadership, relationship, and creative problem solving. A coach should be poised to help you make tough decisions about training and competing so that you can continually grow in your development. And of course, a coach should be a first-rate problem solver, especially when it comes to your training, technique, and strategy. Now, all this has to be built off of a really strong, professional coaching relationship that emphasizes trust and respect. Additionally, RTS coaches are not on an island. We have a strong network of professionals to reach out to, so if you find yourself in need of some specific expertise, say in the realm of nutrition or injury management or sports psychology, there's a deep expertise available there too. For more information, go to store.reactivetrainingsystems.com and click on coaching. That's store.reactivetrainingsystems.com, then click on coaching. Hope to see you on the team soon.